Let's start by imagining you're flying in IMC conditions from Fullerton Airport to Chino Airport, both located in Southern California. Your route is Seal Beach VOR, Victor 8, Paradise VOR. Now let's say you're coming up on the Paradise VOR flying level at 5,000 feet when ATC says to you, Cessna 1 Sierra Papa, turn right heading 080, expect the RNAV runway 26 right approach. Now you know two things. You're on radar vectors, and it looks like you're going to be flying the RNAV 26 right approach. But just where you're going to join the approach? Heck, who knows? I never know. Now you turn right to 080 and pull up the approach chart for the RNAV GPS 26 right approach on ForeFlight and do your approach briefing. This would be an excellent time to get your GPS set up for the approach, right? Well, before you and I get the GPS set up, let's talk about the differences between load and activate. First, you can think of loading an approach as putting a procedure in standby, somewhat like entering a standby frequency on your radio. You're going to use it, but you're not quite ready. So, since you're not ready to fly the approach, let's you and I load the approach. From the GPS flight plan page, touch KCNO, then touch Procedure, then touch Approach, then touch the RNAV 26 right approach. Now you want to select a transition. My personal SOP, standard operating procedure, is to choose a transition closest to where I'm coming from. In this case, Paradise VOR is a good choice. So you'll touch the transition key, then Paradise, PDZ, and finally touch Load Approach. Now, if you look at the flight plan page, you can see that you have plenty of options for navigating to a fix within the approach. Here's Paradise, Casby, Linden, and Dewey. ATC could tell you to go direct Paradise or direct Casby, or maybe you'll remain on radar vectors and be turned on to the final approach course somewhere outside of the final approach fix. Right now, you don't know. So having all these fixes in your flight plan gives you options, and options are a good thing. You're probably wondering why not use Activate Vectors to Final. I generally don't use Vectors to Final because it reduces my navigation options. Stay with me. I'll give you some examples in a bit. Now let's talk about Activate. You can think of activating as, I'd like to use the procedure right darn now, somewhat like transferring that standby frequency into the active window. But how you activate will tell your GPS what course guidance to provide and to where. And I can promise you, activating the wrong fix is going to make you more confused than a blind dog in a meat factory. So, let's you and I look at some of the various ways you can activate so you can get the course guidance you need once you've received your approach clearance. Okay, imagine you're just west of Paradise VOR on a heading of 080 and ATC says,
1 Sierra Papa, direct Casby, cross Casby 4,400, cleared for the RNAV 26 right approach.
From the flight plan page, scroll to Casby, touch Casby, and then press the Direct To button. Then touch the Activate Direct To key. You're all set. Your approach is now activated and your GPS will provide course guidance direct to Casby and even through the procedure turn. Using this technique, you can go direct to any fix in the approach procedure. But if you had selected Vectors to Final, the procedure turn would have been eliminated from the flight plan, and now you'd be scrambling to put it back in. Alright, let's look at another activating scenario. Imagine you've been on radar vectors for a while and you're now somewhere southeast of Linden on a northwest heading, and ATC says to you, 1 Sierra Papa, 3 miles from Linden, turn left heading 290, maintain 3000 until established, cleared for the RNAV 26 right approach, contact the tower 118.5 at Linden. From the flight plan page, scroll to Linden, touch Linden, then touch the Activate Leg key, and then touch OK to activate the leg. Choosing Activate Leg will give you course guidance to intercept the course between Casby and Linden and activate your approach. You'll find this technique helpful if you're intercepting any leg other than being cleared direct to a fix. Some older GPS systems, like non-WAS Garmin 430 and 530s, if you had activated Vectors to Final, you may find Linden missing from the flight plan. Remember, ATC directed you to contact the tower at Linden, and with some older GPSs, choosing Vectors to Final may have removed Linden, and at this point in your approach, you don't want to be wondering what happened. Let's look at one more, a real fun one that most IFR pilots just don't get to do, the full approach. Imagine you're on Victor 8, west of Paradise, and you've requested from ATC to fly the full approach into Chino, and they approved it. Okay, that's not going to happen in the busy Southern California airspace, but a pilot can dream, right? So here's where you can go straight to loading and activating the approach. From the flight plan page, touch KCNO, then touch procedure, then touch approach, then touch the RNAV 26 right approach. Now you'll want to select a transition. And what transition are you going to select? I know you're already ahead of me. You're going to select Paradise, aren't you? Good job. Now all you need to do is touch the load and activate key. Keep this in mind. If you activate the approach using an activate approach key, your GPS will simply plot a course from your present position to the transition fix you selected. In this scenario, you happen to be on Victor 8, just west of Paradise, but using an activate approach key, your GPS will simply plot a course from wherever you are, direct to the transition fix you selected. Now your approach is activated, and your GPS will give you guidance all the way through the procedure. So now you know about loading and activating approaches. Flying approaches with these marvels of technology are just a lot of fun. Go out and see how much.
Tower, American 1997. We just passed a guy in a jetpack.
American 1997, okay, thank you. Were they off to your left side or right side?
Off the left side, maybe 300 yards or so, about our altitude.